strangely have an attraction to watching bad films because I can feel like I'm cooler than someone. So I've come to realize that they usually have a repeating and generic premise that every single bad romantic comedy writer on the planet uses. It is Romeo and Juliet, Cinderella, so much goddamn Cinderella, or The Princess and the Pop Star. Literally look up the popular or unpopular rom-com and it will come up, I guarantee you. Mission failed! But today we will be looking at the third hellish and sappy option of the modern day cinema. A film called Switched. It is a film about an influencer, God forsake the word, called Katie Sharp. No! No! That is beautiful and kind and funny and successful and really so hot. And wait, no, she's the antagonist. And the protagonist is, well, I forgot her name because she is so irrelevant. She's your average nerdy protagonist, and her main personality is Jesus and guitar. I literally didn't even mean to stumble across a Christian film that is Camp Cool Kids-esque that I usually opt for. I meant for a romance film to switch it up. Come on. Basically, Katie bullies nerd number 18,432 into some of the most painful things that can happen to a teenager, like putting a literal bucket of cum behind a door and pouring it onto her she opened it. When I went to, well, preschool, this happened to me every day. Don't even know where the cum came from. Must have been an old man from down the road or something. She basically posts the video where she pours the cum onto her to her very successful social media page, and it pops off with the analytics. And nerd number 18,432 goes home and prays to dear Jesus that she will have a day to walk in her shoes of being a, well, non-influencer, and to be the dumb guitar girl with no social status. God is a God of love, so why the would they make someone else have a terrible ass life like yours as a non-influencer? That would simply be heresy to themselves. The day after, Katie and nerd number 18,432 switch, well, souls. Yeah, most princess and pop star movies switch with consent. This time they literally switched souls because Jesus was like, bro, I kinda wanna humble these influencers, lol. Tony Lopez and James Charles are out here noncing kids, and countless TikTokers be breaking COVID. So I'ma go punish the girl that uses cum as military weaponry and can't even buy a new webcam. And basically Nerd wakes up in Katie's body, and Katie wakes up in Nerd's body, I guess. But basically it goes on to start one of the most cursed scenes of all cinema history, where they all lack complete social skills in this painful and relatable teenage environment of identity crisis.
Yeah, that's it. I'm feeling very strange.
Oh, boo-hoo, she has no drip. Then basically, they meet up. And Katie, we are calling them by their real names because my small Gen Z brain doesn't function like the advanced, deep, and complex piece of eloquent brain power the writers of the film have. Meets up with nerd number 18,432, and Katie gets pressed about her driving her car for some reason. And then we cut to the most well-acted scene of all cinema history, where they are raising big questions and viewpoints about society, capitalism, and sociopolitics.
This is impossible. I think I did this.
And then they have a serious, adult, and mature talk about how they can switch bodies, and that completely isn't like every single film like this ever. Completely not. My impression of this film from the get-go is that it is far too forceful with the message of God for it to be palatable. They're clearly trying to preach the message of God, but aren't doing it in a way we'll listen. It's like the vegan teacher. She does the exact same thing. She makes songs, calls E-celebs murderers, and guilt trips you into not scratching a Big Mac. This film, in a less extreme way, forces you to think about God in a very closed-minded and stupid way, mentioning youth groups, calling out non-believers, and painting a picture of God that makes him look powerful, but kind of an asshole. God most likely is not going to make two random teenage girls switch souls because of a bit of bullying. And then they drive to school with the most epic and poggers music, only to act almost identical to B-Tech Memeulous on a daily basis at school.
What are you doing? I'm just getting my things. Why is your stuff in someone else's locker? Abby! Hey, wait, where are you going?
Sorry, B-Tech. Oh, Aiden, don't worry, you silly goose. Neither of them will worry because they have something exciting. Which brings us to a word from our sponsor. We have a new channel. This is called The Holy Ducks because we commonly refer to ourselves as that. Basically, the center of it is a podcast where we'll just talk about anything and everything. With also some group channel videos, like gaming videos and stuff. And I'm very excited for it. Subscribe now if you like me. This is gonna be fun. And now for the trailer. Then the girlies have a very intense legal discussion about sneaking into each other's rooms.
Why don't you have a driver's license?
I have social anxiety.
Whatever, I don't care about your personal problems.
I do that with EXO all the time. It's good fun. Then nerd number 18,432's brother picks her up from school, and she possibly has the most awkward discussion known to man with him. This is with Katie, so it makes it a bit worse. After all the awkward, teenage things with the mom, completely normal, you have an epic JoJo reference interrogation time.
Your latest video, outperforming everything.
You watched that?
No.
Exactly what my friends and family told me when I released Discord Shark Tank. I love this film so much, just look at the dialogue.
I don't want to be that kind of Katie Sharp.
This is not really the most top-notch parenting, to be honest. Just tighten the knots in some areas, like don't exploit your daughter for money.
I know that it can feel sometimes you're putting on a show, honey, but that's just our business.
Oh, I feel the same way when I stream on Twitch, and I'm on my last string of energy. Cool. After the whole identity crisis, toxic LA influencer management conversation, she goes on to make an apology video with her 8-bit webcam. This is starting to feel a lot like a Darman skit. Overly positive, poorly acted and written, but also full of assholes. Oh yeah, and it's also painfully unaware of today's generation. Wiping the spit off my microphone, as you can see.
Katie Sharp.
Yeah, we all do that.
Why are you wearing these ridiculous shoes? What? Katie wore these shoes last week.
Well, do you see her wearing them now?
No, that's because they're last week.
Oh yeah, according to film and TV, clearly every woman gets new clothes every week. It's literally part of estrogen or something. You cannot drive my car to that. I keep reading that. And the girlies go to have another very, very serious talk about the current situation.
Tonight, pray before going to bed, and I'll read the magazine. I better wake up in my bed.
Ah yes. Logic. And then, the most epic thing to ever happen happened. The film calls out the commentary community.
I thought you got famous for making fun of people.
Well, I started with makeup tutorials.
And then they go to nerd number 18,432's youth group.
What's youth group?
And it is so awkward, it honestly bears resemblance to my youth group.
I don't think we've officially met. Anytime people are mean, it's usually because they're insecure.
You can't say that, because this is quite the generalization, mate. Then the most awkward workout scene you could ever think of happens.
Are you even listening to me?
Okay.
And it is honestly mind-numbing. Or, leg-numbing. And during the midst of pure exercise and life-endingly visible sweat, the dad tells Nerd about the Glam Slam deal. Then the most awkward photo shoot of all time happens, and it is as lovely as when you stub your toe on a razor-sharp knife and you have to go on the hospital. Like, are you taking a And at around the same time, Katie has to go to practice guitar for an upcoming Juilliard audition, and basically quits the whole thing for nerd number 18,432, because she doesn't know how to play guitar. That's what friends are for, eh? And then, the worst thing that could happen, happens. The low point of the film. The low point of society. And the low point of the world. The low point of the ice caps. The low point of everything you know of everything you know of all happened at the same time. Nerd number 18,432 embraces the spoiled influencer lifestyle, and it was just too emotional to watch. It really brought out the sensitive side in me. Cried for days after this scene. To put it in simpler terms, I have an argument about the cancelled Guitar Edition, and Nerd acts like every TikTok influencer ever. And Jake really does have the best party ever. Basically, a scrap happens. And then the godly brother of Nerd walks in, and Nerd has an identity crisis again.
I'm Cassandra.
No.
And after the big scrap, Katie's parents tell Nerd that the Glam Slam, yes, fucking that's the name, cancelled her interview because, well, obvious reasons. And then the parents' mildly toxic, just a bit personality shows. Then she goes on to make an apology video to say sorry to everyone that she hurt, and they all live happily. Wait, isn't over. Sake. And then Nerd apologizes to Katie and vice versa. This is honestly just one of the most amazing and life-changing apologies I have ever heard. Wow. I love the touch of the Facebook Live love hearts. It really adds sentimental value so well with this modern day. It is just incredible. I'm actually starting to sound like the people that like this film. Yes, the love hearts just won me over. Won me over. And then for some reason they cram inside a bathroom cubicle and ask Nerd's godly brother advice on the whole crisis they're having. And he probably provides the most useless advice ever in that context.
I still don't follow this identity crisis you're having. Just love one another.
Then Nerd asks Katie to break up with her boyfriend for her. It's just getting far too confusing now. Oh my and then Nerd makes your average churchy edited on iMovie full of stock footage and cringe video about leading with love, and it is well, and it all ties up with them switching bodies and doing the things they most desired to do in a scene that seems almost an eternity long. Katie and Nerd number 18,432 become friends and do a cringy collab. Katie becomes the CEO of Glam Slam or something, and Nerd number 18,432 becomes a famous musician like Steve Vai, I guess. To conclude, I think this is probably not the worst film of this genre of absolute shit, but it is certainly cringe. It has a decent message about kindness, but some of the logic about kindness isn't kind, like saying all people are insecure. That just isn't realistic. This message is as forceful as any Christian movie, such as Camp Cool Kids or The Perfect Race, but with the cringy and out-of-touchness of Gen Z culture mixed with bad acting like a Darman skit or a Netflix original film. I guess you could say it is some sort of buy one get one free with bad films or something. Out of 10, 1 being the worst you could imagine and 10 being Cruella, like literally Cruella, like perfect. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to give it a good 3 to 4. It is just bad. Not really much anything else to say in the end. Heck, I could have made this 3 seconds long and say that Switched is bad and I don't like it. You know what? Maybe I should have got that. Wait, no.